So this is an example of what we're going to do in lab in maybe 2 weeks. This is a laboratory electrochemical cell. So electrochemistry, remember, is when you have electrochemical cell. Electrochemistry is when you have the process of turning chemical energy into electrical energy. And so this is the galvanic cell. It's a two-component galvanic cell. And the two components are zinc and copper. Okay, so these are separated half reactions. These are two half reactions, and they're separated. They are in two different beakers. So here's beaker number 1 on the left and beaker number 2 on the right. These are connected by a salt bridge, and this represents a closed circuit. So following this in blue, the coming out of the anode, so this would be the negative electrode, and this is the cathode over here. This would be the positive electrode. So electrons exit out of the anode, go through. This is the voltmeter. This measures the volts. Okay, so this is the measured electrical output, and then through there it can be either through the voltmeter or it can be through some component you're trying to, like a light or a electronic, but this is a voltmeter just measuring it. And then the electrons flow through here and into this solution, where then they can flow into and go into this salt bridge, and so that is a closed circuit. So this overall is a closed circuit, and the way to open this circuit is not a switch, but just to remove this salt bridge. Okay, so the electrons flow, and that produces electrical energy to the tune of 1.10 volts. Okay, and so in this we have the zinc is the anode, and that's the zinc is losing electrons. And so zinc loses electrons, and that is oxidation. It occurs at the anode. And so when zinc starts off as 0 and becomes a +2 ion, it loses, each individual zinc atom loses 2 electrons. So that's +2 and then -2 to be equal to 2 in the charge values. On the cathode side, that's where reduction is going on. So this is the copper is gaining electrons. So this is +2 electrons. So I'll do the charges in a different color. So if you have the charge values are going to be +2 and then -2 from those 2 electrons is going to be equal to 0, which is the charge of just copper that you're left with. So the zinc loses electrons, the copper gains electrons. That's electrons that are here on the reactant side, on the left side of that arrow. Okay, and the process actually will have, let's show this in here, is that zinc becomes ions and you have less zinc solid. So this actually shows kind of like this less zinc, kind of smaller amount there, and copper forms, and so you have this thicker copper on the cathode side.